On Wednesday, Bobby Abreu's walk-off home run gave the Angels a sweep over the Royals as they picked up a game in the West. Tonight, Toronto's Big Boppers are in town, but the Halos look for another big bang of their own in a night that should have plenty of fireworks. It's Blue Jays and Angels next. Well, there's no question it's a fantastic start to the homestand. A three-game sweep of the Kansas City Royals, and after an off day yesterday, fans streaming into the Big A for the first of three against the visiting Toronto Blue Jays. And a beautiful night here at the Big A. And from inside the Big A, I'm Victor Rojas alongside Mark Dubas. Glad you could join us once again for Angels baseball. And speaking of that walk-off win on Wednesday, Bobby Abreu was absolutely spectacular in that series against the Kansas City Royals. 7 for 12 overall, and a week ago tonight, he started in that leadoff spot, and he's been fantastic ever since.
Well, the club has taken off with him in that spot. He sees a lot of pitches, which helps everybody throughout this entire lineup. They are 5-1 with Bobby Abreu leading off against the Kansas City Royals. He had so many good at-bats, so many good swings, and of course, the biggest of them all, the walk-off right there in the bottom of the 10th inning. His 4th career walk-off home run, 8 career walk-off hits for Bobby Abreu, hitting .429 in that leadoff spot, including 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. Been that good and helped the club become that much more aggressive.
Well, over the last week, the offense has been spectacular, but the starting pitching has been just as good. And tonight, Scott Kazmir is going for the Angels. Second start since coming off the disabled list, and you go back to that last start against the Tigers, he was phenomenal as well in his 5 innings.
5 innings, went out and threw only 78 pitches. He had a fastball, 93 to 94 mile an hour. He did mix in some off-speed pitches, but above all, he was very aggressive. Didn't waste time in between pitches. Threw a lot of first pitch strikes, got some quick outs, which was important for him. Mike Sosa and Mike Butcher want him to be as aggressive as possible, throw the ball into strikes, and attack these powerful hitters of the Jays and be able to be successful and go 5 innings.
Well, we got a couple of left-handers on the mound. Scott Kazmir going for the Angels. Mark Sipchinski, a local product out of Servite High School, and UC Riverside is towing the slab for the Toronto Blue Jays. We're just about ready for some baseball, so sit back and relax. We've got the lineups in the first pitch when we return. To you by Howard's, official superstores of Angels baseball. Nobody beats Howard's. By the all-new 2011 Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Southern California Hyundai dealers today. And by Shakey's Pizza, who competed in 22 World Series games and won 10. Go to Shakey's.com/trivia. Gorgeous shot inside the Big A. The boys have taken the field for game number 1 of this 3-game set against the visiting Toronto Blue Jays. They have been very good of late, especially since the All-Star break. And as always, tonight's Angels game is presented in bodacious high definition, courtesy of Time Warner Cable. Let's take a look at the lineup. That's Cito Gaston, perhaps in his last year as the skipper of the Toronto Blue Jays, will be running out there. Blue Jays coming to this one with a 60-54 record, 4th place in the American League East. And they'll have Fred Lewis leading things off, playing left field. Junel Escobar, formerly of the Atlanta Braves, is the shortstop. Jose Bautista has been all-world for the Blue Jays. He is in right. Vernon Wells, the cleanup man at center. Adam Lynn, the left-hand hitting DH, batting 6th. Aaron Hill is the second baseman. Lyle Overbay at first base. Edwin Encarnacion is at third base with the former Angel. Jose Molina batting 9th and doing the catching. Facing Scott Kazmir. Overall numbers, not pretty, but certainly pretty the last time out.
Basically, it comes down to the rebirth. His last time out after being on the disabled list, the approach that Mike Butcher and Mike Socha have taken with him, not only in his game last time out, but his side session in between starts. As far as being aggressive, his fastball has been very good. 93 to 94 miles an hour, locating it well, good deception, his slider and changeup.
No, defensively behind Kazmir this evening, you've got Abreu, Borges, and Hunter in the outfield from left to right. Meister Sturz gets a start at third base. Alberto Callas for the night off. Ibar, George Kendrick at second. Napoli at first with Jeff Mathis doing the catching.
And Peter Borges back out in center field. Got the day off the other day when Reggie Wilkes played center field. Going to be covering a lot of ground. Kazmir more of a fly ball pitcher. Certainly with this power that the Jays possess, will be covering that ground in center field.
There is no question this is a unique lineup that Toronto possesses here. Fred Lewis takes outside for ball 1. Lewis has got good speed. He was a waiver claim from the San Francisco Giants. That was back in the first trip, second trip of the season when the Angels were north of the border. He certainly settled into that leadoff spot, hitting .271 with 7 home runs and 31 runs batted in. He's got 29 doubles and 5 triples. So at the top of the order, you've got some speed. In the middle part of the order, you've got some big boppers. Then you've got some question marks at the bottom, but they certainly can hit the long ball. 1-1 pitch outside. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
I think when you look at this team, if you make your pitches, you have a chance of being successful. They capitalize on mistakes made by the pitchers on the mound. So if you hit your spots, you can get through this lineup. If you don't, you're in trouble.
This one fouled off to the left. And Kazmir has a 2-ball, 2-strike count. There's Cito Gaston at the helm of the Toronto Blue Jays. He has even just of recently has said, if they ask me to stay, I don't know that I will, but if they really want me to stay, then more than likely I would do that. So big question mark. And he is the guy that turned this club around offensively, as this one's fouled off to the left side. It'll land in the seats. When he took over the ball club, brought back from the front office, he basically said, you know what? You see your pitch, let it fly. And it's a far departure from what it was several years ago when J.P. Ricciardi, the general manager, took over and went with that whole Moneyball approach. It certainly did not work in Toronto.
And I like that approach that Cito has instilled in this club once again. Being aggressive, getting that fastball, getting a good hitter's counts. And I would not be surprised if he does come back. They've been that good.
There's a good slider on the inside part of the plate. Down goes Lewis. And Kazmir off to a good start, picking up his first strikeout.
After some fastballs to Lewis, Kazmir ends up throwing the breaking pitch at the inside part of the plate. Didn't quite get it out in front with it, but still very effective.
We call the old backup slider that was very effective against a left-handed batter as Junel Escobar steps to the plate. He's the shortstop. He fouls one off to the right. Escobar picked up the trade deadline from the Atlanta Braves. He was scuffling this year with Atlanta, hitting only .238, no home runs, 19 runs batted in. A lot of talk about his attitude in Atlanta. That's why they ended up shipping him off. He drops a bunt up the third base line. Kazmir has got it. It's in time. 2 outs.
That's one of those plays, if you run through the base, you have a better chance of being safe than you would be if you're going head first slide. Kazmir made a nice play. He stayed within himself, didn't rush. Fielded the ball very well, and they threw a good throw. Escobar going down. That was a pretty good bunt. Spin, good strong throw. Gets him.
Still don't understand why guys go head first into the bag at first base in general, but first base especially.
You have to slow down to get there. You have a better chance of just running straight through.
Jose Bautista fouling off the first pitch. It's no balls in his strike. Also a little bit more susceptible to hand injuries.
Remember what happened to Kenny Lofton, who was a member of Cleveland Indians? What happened to himself? He got hurt in a key spot of the season.
Bautista takes down low, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Having a monster year. Average is down, no problem. 36 home runs, leads Major League Baseball. 88 runs batted in. And he started the rally for the Blue Jays yesterday in the 9th inning off former Angels starter John Lackey. Lackey was cruising. Had a 5-1 lead. Bautista. A 5-2 lead, pardon me. Bautista hit a solo home run to lead off that 9th inning. And the Blue Jays ended up knocking Jonathan Papelbon around for 3 more runs. And Blue Jays had a walk-off win against the Red Sox.
Slightly open stance, too, for Bautista as the baseball is being delivered. That's when he closes it up. Very quick hands. If you can go inside above the belt, you can be successful. That's a spot, though, that's dangerous against him.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Bautista getting to start in right field. We've seen him in left. We've seen him at third base. At multiple positions. Casimir trying to go 1-2-3 here in the first. Just underway here at the Big A. The 2-2. Off speed is outside. Full count. Vernon Wells on deck. Payoff pitch outside, and it's ball 4. So trying to get him a chase on that off speed. So the Blue Jays get their first base runner, and Vernon Wells comes to the plate with 2 outs here in the first.
I think you notice about Bautista, very patient at the plate. More of a free swinger before. He used to swing at pitches out of the strike zone, but with 69 walks on the season, showing a lot more patience.
Wells lays off that first pitch, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Blue Jays are, by definition, that station-to-station team. They don't run a whole lot, just 38 stolen bases on the year. That's last in the American League. But they lead all of Major League Baseball with 179 home runs. As a matter of fact, they've got 21 home runs in August. Today's the 13th. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Back-to-back changeup for Casimir, throwing a lot more off-speed pitches. A lot of times you'll see those press clippings for how many home runs the club has, but you're still, the best pitch is a well-located fastball.
Casimir now has delivered 5 straight wide ones, 5 straight balls against Bautista. The first 2 here against Vernon Wells, hitting .274 with 22 home runs and 60 runs batted in. Wells got off to a terrific start, but then has cooled down a little bit. 2-0s downstairs, 3-0. That's the last thing you want to do against this ball club, is put base runners on base, gifting bases with the power that they possess up and down the lineup. Adam Lind is the guy that's on deck.
And Cito Gaston gives these guys the green light on a 3-0 count, especially their power guys in this lineup.
He green lighted him. That's a pop up on the infield. Eric Ibar with the call and the catch. Casimir strikes out 1, walks 1, and gets out of it with no damage whatsoever. Angels coming up at the bottom of the first with no score. This evening, game number 117 for the Halos, 59-57 on the year, 7.5 back in the American League West. Bobby Abreu leading things off, a .375 average in the last 6 games. Eric Ibar at shortstop, Meiser Sturris at third base, Torrey Hunter in right, Juan Rivera is the DH, Howie Kendrick back at second base, Mike Napoli at first, Jeff Mathis doing the catching, and Peter Borges after day off on Wednesday is batting ninth and playing center field, taking on the former Servite, UC Riverside product, Mark Sapchinski.
Sapchinski is a guy with a fastball, 87-91, tries to sink that fastball, particularly away from right-handed batters. Good curveball, which he'll use a lot against left-handed batters, a slider and a changeup.
Facing left-hand hitting Bobby Abreu, 7 for 12 against the Kansas City Royals in that series. He's got a 5-game hitting streak and, of course, hit that home run that gave the Angels the walk-off win on Wednesday afternoon. Sapchinski delivers strike one. Bobby hitting .262, 14 home runs and 65 runs batted in. That's inside. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Sapchinski, not an overpowering type, but has good enough stuff after showcasing it last year in the big leagues to have gone into spring training as a guy who's a potential rotation lefty. As Bobby bounces this one toward the second baseman Hill, and will fire on to first, and there's out number 1. As we take a look at the defense behind Sapchinski. Fred Lewis in left, Vernon Wells in center, Jose Bautista in right, it's Edwin Encarnacion at third, Yunel Escobar at short, Aaron Hill at second, Lyle Overbay at first with Jose Molina doing the catching.
And Aaron Hill made that first play of the ball game, that very good range at second base, whether it be the glove side or the backhand. Been only 5 errors on the season. Turns a double play very well also.
Oh, 1 out, nobody on. Here comes Eric Ibar. Takes a fastball in for a strike, but as I was saying about Sapchinski in spring training, his last start of spring training had a comebacker. Threw the pitching hand out there, and it got him at the tip of the middle finger on that pitching hand as Ibar tries to push a bunt on the first base side. It snowballs and 2 strikes. Broke a bone in his finger. He's on a disabled list March 30th and May 18th. This after going 2-4 to 3.67 ERA with the big league club, the Blue Jays last year.
That's when there's normal reactions. A ground ball or line drive up the middle, you throw up your bare hand to make the play. Generally not a lot of good results out of that.
And Ibar takes the curveball in for a strike, and there are 2 outs. First strikeout for Sapchinski.
Good depth on that breaking pitch. 80 mile an hour in between the 12-6, 11-5 variety of the curveball. Now it's replay. Curveball starts off the outside corner but catches a good part of the plate. Good speed on that pitch also.
No balls and a strike here on Meiser Sturris. He was 3 for 4 on Wednesday. Swings here and pops it up on the first base side. Lyle Overbay coming over toward the dugout. Will not make the catch. That ball pops out of his glove. And Jose Molina almost caught it on the ricochet.
Bob Boone and Pete Rose in reverse of the '80 World Series. Overbay off to the glove. Jose tried to use the bare hand to make the play.
No balls, 2 strikes here on Meiser Sturris.
And you see the catcher shaking his head. He just wanted to give the hitter a different feel.
Now with foul back.
One thing you notice about pitchers, when a catcher does that sign to shake off the sign, most times when it's a fastball sign, a pitcher will not give it a look. They'll just say, okay, it'll shake like this real quick. Firmly, it's that aggressive nature about a fastball. When it's a breaking pitch, you'll just stare at it and then throw the pitch. Learned that one later on about just talking to hitters about that. Every time they said a pitcher would shake off a pitch and go to, and they put a fastball down, if you shake firmly, that means you knew it was coming.
Just a little bit outside for ball 2.
He might have turned over that circle change a little bit.
He's got a good sense of humor about it.
He changed eye level and certainly gave a different look as far as east to west on that pitch.
This little floater out to right field. Here comes the right fielder, Jose Bautista, makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. One complete here at the Big A with no score. By CarMax. Now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. By Carl's Jr., introducing the Hawaiian Teriyaki Chicken Sandwich with grilled pineapple and teriyaki sauce. New at Carl's Jr. And by Hawaiian Gardens Casino. Get your game on. Top of the second here at the Big A, Adam Lind to face Scott Kazmir, delivers strike one. Kaz had a strikeout in the first. Also issued a walk, but got Vernon Wells to pop out on a 3-0 pitch to end the inning. Lind, Hill, and Overbay here on a beautiful Friday night. This one out toward deep right center field. Giving chase is Peter Borges. The wall leaps up and he can't make the catch. Abreu backing it up, or Water, pardon me, is backing it up. Lind trying to go to third. The throw is not in time. It's a triple for Adam Lind. Peter Borges almost made a spectacular play in right center field.
Well, you can see by his expression, he thought he had a real legit chance. And well, he made a great effort. Well, he got him on the wrist as he was leaping up against the wall. Had a good feel for the wall. Jumped up and got either the wrist or the heel of the glove. Had to go a long, long way.
Third triple of the year for Adam Lind, and right away a man in scoring position for the Blue Jays. Aaron Hill takes upstairs. He's the second baseman. Hitting just .214 on the year, but he's had 18 home runs and 45 runs batted in. Fastball on the outside corner is a strike. Hill had a breakout year last year, hitting 36 home runs, 108 runs batted in for the Blue Jays. That pitch is outside. It's 2 balls and a strike. The American League Comeback Player of the Year. But he gets scuffled as far as the batting average is concerned. Ahead of the count at 2-1. Pops this one up. Playable for Howie Kendrick. Drifting out to shallow right. Down number 1. A lot of movement in that glove, but it's the first out of the inning.
That wasn't as easy as it looked for Howie going back on it. As he got underneath it, he had to move to his right. Still able to make the play in the glove. Harry says, no problem, I got it easily. Honda will showed up, but baseball almost worked its way out of the glove. It doesn't matter as long as he makes the play and keeps that runner at third.
Infield now halfway for the Angels with Lyle Overbay at the plate. A lefty-lefty matchup. Nice job by Mathis. Keep that ball in front of him. Overbay got off to a horrific start with Toronto this year. He's being booed at home on a regular basis, but has chipped away to get that batting average up to 250 with 13 home runs and 45 runs batted in. Two balls and no strikes. Adam Lind over at third base with a leadoff triple here to start the second. That one's down low. Casimir's falling behind on Overbay. At 3 balls and no strikes with Edwin Encarnacion on deck, the right-handed batter. This is the guy you want to get, especially with the struggles that the Blue Jays have had against left-handed pitching this year. As Overbay takes a strike and it's 3-1. Toronto just a .219 average as a ball club against left-handed pitching this year, which is a huge disparity compared to what they do against righties, hitting .260. Wade Murphy, their hitting coach. Casimir walks Overbay.
It's surprising they've struggled against left-handed pitching like they have. Considering the right-handed pop they have in this lineup.
Casimir has put runners at first and third now with one away, and Encarnacion coming up. Two walks already tonight for Casimir, surpassing the one he issued in 76 pitches thrown against the Tigers his last time out. Gave up just 3 hits, 1 run. It was unearned in that start against Detroit. This one's pulled over the head of Asturias and into left field. A base hit. Abreu over to cut it off. Lind will score, and the Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead.
Encarnacion is one of those, he's very aggressive. Got an off-speed pitch out over the plate. Fooled him enough to make those hips go over, but he kept the bat through the zone and hit that hard into left field.
That still goes back to the approach against Lyle Overbay. That's the guy you would think you would want to get out. Guy who has struggled against lefties all season long. Give yourself a chance to get the second out of the inning and then take a different approach with Encarnacion being a right-handed batter. Jose Molina swings the first pitch and fouls it back.
I mean, you never want to give up runs, but the reality is you got to trust your offense enough to be able to score some runs. So you want to make sure and minimize the amount of damage done in an inning. So with Overbay up, lefties, like you mentioned, struggled against left-handed pitch. You got to attack him. If he gets a hit, so be it, but you can't put him in a situation where you walk him to face a tough righty.
This one chopped on the ground to third as Asturias feeds Kendrick for one. Relay on the first in-time inning-ending double play. But Toronto strikes first. They get a triple by Lind, and he's brought home by Encarnacion. We head to the bottom of the second with Toronto up 1-0. As we start the bottom of the second inning, Halos have Hunter, Rivera, and Kendrick due up here against Mark Sapczynski. We're at a 1-2-3 in the first. Striking out Eric Ibar. Tor's got a 6-game hitting streak, hitting .294, 18 home runs, 70 runs batted in. Had a 1-for-4 game, his first start on Wednesday since coming off that 4-game suspension. I love that quote, too. The MLB Correctional Facility. As Torrey hits him sharply over to short, Escobar's got it. And Hunter is retired for out number 1. Let's take a look at our Hyundai keys to the game.
As one of the great bands of the 80s would say, REO Speedwagon, ride in the storm out. The Red Storm, break out the Red Week, being more aggressive, going hit and running under Mike Scioscia, stealing some bases, creating opportunities to score. You need to score some runs against this Jays team because they can score some runs via the long ball themselves. Keep pressure on them.
Especially being helped out on Wednesday night with the Yankees coming back and beating the Texas Rangers, picking up a game. 7.5 back now in the West. You look at the scoreboard, Texas trailing Boston right now 9-6. That game of the 7th down in Arlington. Good opportunity against a very tough team. Toronto, a very good team. As Rivera takes a strike here to try to pick up some ground. I mean, you conceivably could be 4.5 back if you get a sweep here and Texas gets swept. This is a division that was supposedly wrapped up on August 1st, according to all the pundits.
Boy, just watching that game the other day against the Yankees and when they came back and won, I just watched even Nolan Ryan was sitting there in disbelief as that lead evaporated and they lost that game. They had some opportunities not only to keep the Yankees from scoring, but they had a chance to be able to score some runs themselves and failed to do so with the middle of their lineup in that inning against Rivera.
Rivera takes a fastball right down the middle for strike 2, so it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rivera serving as the DH this evening. 261 on the year with 12 home runs and 43 RBIs. Breaking ball is tapped foul. This one off of Juan. Jose Molina did a nice job, though, however, try to sell that to Rob Drake, the home plate umpire, to say that ball, basically telling Sapczynski, field it and throw it to first. You never know.
Just in case somebody missed the fact that it hit his foot.
Well, especially with Juan just staying near the plate. We've seen a lot of interesting things this year. Missed or otherwise, as Rivera shoots one down the right field line, and that's a fair ball. Juan rounding first, heading to second. It's a double as the fan reaches over.
Well, that's one of those plays, too. If it goes around that corner, Juan could be running for a long time.
Yeah, usually when the home team is up, leave the ball alone.
Yeah, change up. Up on the outer half. Right down that line. You never know when it gets around that corner. Bad deflection. It gets by Bautista. All of a sudden, Juan at the very least will be at third base.
Rivera with his 18th double of the year puts a man in scoring position here.
Can't determine what that discussion was about. Other than, you can't award him a triple on that play. Sometimes, depending on the base runner, they might give that extra base, but not on that situation.
At home. If Peter Borges were running, he would be awarded third base. Because more than likely he would already rounded second before Joey Angel fan down the line there picked up the baseball. Here's Howie Kendrick. He takes down low for ball 1. Howie had his 12-game hitting streak snapped on Wednesday. Still hitting .273 with 9 home runs. This one shot foul on the first base shot. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Should be a pretty good matchup for Howie. Sapczynski stays away. Howie very good as his approach to the plate as far as going the other way, inside out on a swing. If he can just lay off that breaking pitch down and away in the dirt area, he should be successful.
This one rolled over to third. Encarnacion looks Rivera back. A little bit of a high throw, but nice crossover by Overbay, and there are two away.
That was a pitch down in the zone. He swung at it. Subchinski's pitch instead of waiting for one that he could do some damage to. How he did, got himself out on that off-speed pitch.
Here's Mike Napoli with 2 outs and a man in scoring position. Speaking of which, even though the Angels swept the Kansas City Royals, the Halos were just 3 for 20 in that series with men in scoring position. That's a 150 average.
A little different offense between the Royals and the Jays. Although the Royals' batting average was much higher, but their runs and ability to drive the ball into the ballpark completely different. I think they had, what, 74 home runs as a team. Kansas City's compared to 179 for this Blue Jay team.
0-1 pitch to Napoli's outside. The Angels combining for 26 total hits in that 3-game series. Napoli with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Mike had to start at first base on Wednesday, went 0 for 3. This one rolled over to short. Escobar has got it. He'll retire Napoli for the 3rd out. So a 1-out double by Juan Rivera is stranded at second base. 2 complete here in Anaheim. Blue Jays still up 1-0. Third here at the Big A. Good crowd on hand. Still filing in here. Big Bang Friday, of course. Come out to Kaiser Family Sunday on August 15th as all kids ages 12 and under will be invited down to the field to run the bases following the game against the Blue Jays. Be sure to purchase your tickets at angelsbaseball.com. That's a 12:35 start on Sunday afternoon as Fred Lewis swings the first pitch. It's no balls and a strike. Top of the order due up for Toronto. Lewis, Escobar, and Bautista against Kazmir, who has 1 strikeout and 2 walks. Lewis was that strikeout victim. Went down looking in the first. Now has a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Speaking of matchups, all weekend long, fantastic. Kazmir and Subchinski this evening. Brett Cecil, Irvin Santana tomorrow night, 6:05 start. Lewis takes inside, 2 balls and a strike, and then Ricky Romero against Dan Herron on Sunday afternoon. So 3 lefties being featured by Cito Gaston.
And Cecil threw that great game against the Angels last time the Jays were in town.
2 balls, 2 strikes now.
Dan Herron picked up his first victory as a Halo last time out. Good job. 1 walk once again What a strike throw. Didn't have the punch-out pitch work, only 3 strikeouts, but very effective.
Lewis takes a called strike 3. Second time in the game he's gone down looking. This one on a fastball. And there's out number 1.
Great spot. Now they're setting up the outside part of plate. You talk about hitting your spot. Exactly what Kazmir was able to do. You got to trust your catcher, trust the game plan you guys talked about before the game to be successful. Minimize the shake-off and disagreements as far as what pitch you're going to throw.
Strike on the outside corner, off-speed pitch to Yunel Escobar. He tried to bunt his way on in the first inning. Kazmir threw him out, so he's 0 for 1. Escobar's a guy had a pretty darn good year for the Atlanta Braves last year. At .299, 14 home runs, 76 RBIs. Homerless and hitting .238 in Atlanta. Shipped off north of the border.
I'm just watching him from afar. A number of games when you watch the Braves. You look at it, just a ton of talent. He didn't seem to mesh with Bobby Cox a whole lot. Bobby was always upset with him. It didn't work out for him in Atlanta.
Fouls this one off to the right. Escobar's second round pick by the Atlanta Braves, 75th overall in 2005. The 2-2 pitch fouled off to the right again. The home runs and RBIs that Escobar picked up last year, setting career highs for him. He had 10 and 60 in 2008. That's when he hit .288. Breaking pitch just missed inside. I think Kazmir wanted that one. Instead, it's a full count.
Pretty good spot. A bit down. Where it crosses the plate is where it should be considered a strike or not.
Out in front of that one. And count remains at 3-2.
4 3-ball counts already in the game here. We're only in the 3rd inning for Scott Kazmir. We talked about how aggressive he was his last time out. Stuff is there. It's all about tempo and believing in your stuff as you take that out to the mound.
Called strike 3. In at the knees. Down goes Escobar. 2 outs. Third strikeout of the game for Scott Kazmir. Brings up Jose Bautista. We'll take a look at our FoxSportsWest.com poll question. Who will lead the majors in home runs this season? Jose Bautista, Miguel Cabrera, Adam Dunn, Paul Konerko, or Albert Pujols? Log on to FoxSportsWest.com and cast your vote. Michael Leaves. Cool Breeze himself is back in the fold. He and Jose Mota will have the Angels Live post-game edition to get you the updated vote totals. Who would you pick? Bautista? As he hits one high to left field.
Now that I stayed in the ballpark, no.
No, you were going to take it back on. Nice. You bandwagoner. That is brutal. Kazmir with a 1-2-3 inning. Blue Jays still up 1-0. Angels down by the score of 1-0. And we'll set up Jeff Mathis, followed by Peter Borges, then Bobby Abreu. One ball, no strikes here on Jeff Mathis, hitting .220 on the year with 3 home runs and 11 runs batted in. Mathis shooting one over to second base, a one hopper to Aaron Hill. And there is out number 1.
Sipchinski's a guy that doesn't use a lot of his lower part of his body as far as delivering the baseball. More of a thrower. Certainly not in the same school as a Tom Seaver, which he was a drop-in drive type pitcher using the bottom half of your body, or a Nolan Ryan. Good deception, though. Turns that fastball over very well and has a good slow curveball.
He's a guy you would think just by looking at him mechanically that at some point would have arm problems. That's the things you'd like to worry about as a pitching coach, because he does curl that arm behind his back and really doesn't stay back and compact.
Most times he's already landing before his arm is going through the proper arm slot, which means most times you're going to elevate pitches, or you're going to have a tendency to really drag your shoulder through that. That's when you have that problem in the rotator cuff area. But the reality is, if you're strong enough early in your career, you're generally going to be okay.
Now it hits Borges, and a man is on. That's the man you want on with 1 out here in the 3rd inning. That'll bring up Bobby Abreu.
And now it's time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blasting. What a blast it was for Bobby Abreu. You're talking about the walk-off piece, the big fly. Bobby Abreu with the broom out against the Kansas City Royals, touching home, touch them all. Bobby Abreu. That was our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
14th home run of the year for Bobby Abreu. They came on Wednesday. Halos down 1-0 here in the 3rd with Borges on board. Abreu for 1. He grounded out to second base. Quick throw over there. Borges just does get back ahead of the throw.
Very good move. Quick to the plate. Very athletic on the mound. Fields his position very well. Also, not an easy guy to be able to steal if you're Peter Borges.
2 stolen bases for Peter. He's been caught stealing once. Bobby gets hit. That's back-to-back hitters. Now we got him square in the back. And just what we were talking about, Gooby, about the arm dragging, that's what tends to happen. It's difficult when your body is committed down the slope of the mound towards the home plate area. If the arm's not catching up, there is no way you can get that pitch out over the plate.
I mean, you can see his foot already landing before the arm slot, the proper arm slot, to be able to finish off, particularly when you're trying to hit the outside corner. Dragging the arm, elbow drops, very difficult no matter how quick you are with your arm to be able to get in a good spot to be able to throw that pitch. And Bobby says, yeah, that's just another way to get on base for my on base percentage.
And Sipchinski sitting on the mound like, wow, I guess I do throw pretty hard. Bobby Abreu was sucking wind there for a little bit.
We only figured it was going to be 87 to 91. A little extra cheese on that fastball.
Here's Eric Ibar. Ibar, strikeout victim in the 1st, so he's 0 for 1. That one's in the dirt. So 2 hit batters. The 3rd pitch bounces out in front of the plate. Sipchinski, a former 5th round pick in 2007 out of UC Riverside. One-0. Ibar rolling this one foul just up the 3rd base line. Encarnacion playing in to protect against the bunt.
That ball was rolled foul by Eric Ibar, but if you have a pitcher just hit 2 batters in a row, and then the first pitch is a couple feet in front of the plate, you have to make sure you get a pitch in the zone. That pitch was down and out of the strike zone.
You're talking about a pitch to drive.
Yes. I mean, he's going to try to aim a pitch. You're doing him a favor by swinging at something out of the zone, because then you would be 2-0, and you're going to get a better fastball to hit.
Ibar rolling this one to the right side, over Bay. gets the ball over to Escobar, and they force out Abreu for out number 2. Ibar really helping out Subchinski here. The runners at the corners, 2 away. It'll be up to Meiser Sturz.
That's when you want to put pressure if you're a hitter on the pitcher. Command was away from you for 5 pitches in a row. You got to stay back, trust your hands, and drive the ball well. And you obviously have the right guy up here. Meister Stewart, very good throughout his career, hitting with runners in scoring position. Has an opportunity to tie the game up here with a base hit.
Outfield very shallow against Meiser. Takes outside for ball 1. He hit that fly ball to right field, caught by Lewis in the first inning. Pardon me, by Bautista in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Borges at third, and Ibar over at first base. That's a strike. Meiser didn't like that call. Very similar to that slider that Kazmir didn't get the call on. But a strike nonetheless, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike here. Two balls and a strike. Toronto getting a run in the second inning. A leadoff triple by Adam Lind, and the 1-out base hit by Edwin Encarnacion. Kazmir got a double play to get out of that second. That's where we stand right now. 2-1. Off speed pitch. It's cut on and missed. 2-2.
That's pitching right there. 2-1 count. Meister looking fastball. Subchinski throws him a good changeup. Boy, a pitch that was going to be a strike even if he had not swung at that.
It's one of the few we've seen tonight from Subchinski. There goes Ibar. The 2-2 is down and in. Stolen base. But a full count here for Meister Sturz with Torrey Hunter on deck.
Wait, Ibar slowed down at second. He was hoping that Molina would make that throw, but no chance. But Borges' speed at third base that they were going to throw through at second.
Nobody even bothered to cover there. Full count here with 2 outs. And as Sturz chases what would have been ball 4, and he'll go down swinging. The Halos get a couple of men on, cannot cash him in. 3 complete. Toronto still leads it 1-0. This date back in 1993. Ricky Henderson gave his Blue Jays teammate Turner Ward $25,000 for the number 24. Henderson had complained that he was having trouble hitting with number 14 on his back, so whipped out his wallet, wrote a check. That's when you're going good. This is the same guy who kept his signing bonus check framed on his wall.
That's an all-time great story there.
$1 million check. Vernon Wells takes a strike to lead off the fourth inning with the Blue Jays up 1-0. And be sure to visit farmers.com today to hear more true stories from Farmers customers and to find a SoCal agent near you.
I think Ricky realized he was going to make some money, a lot of money in this game, so he didn't need that.
Well, apparently, the financial department of the Oakland Athletics could not balance their books because of that check sitting on the wall. It's 2 balls and a strike. So I guess that's when you know you're going that good. Wells takes inside, 3 balls and a strike. Wells hit a pop-up on the infield that ended the first inning, so he's 0 for 1 and ahead of the count here, 3 balls and a strike.
We were teammates here in '97 with the Angels, Ricky. I mean, he was just fun to listen to. I mean, he knew the game of baseball as well as anybody I've ever been around.
Was he still talking into third person?
Of course, but you still figured out exactly what he was saying.
Leadoff walk to Vernon Wells. 3 walks to go with 3 strikeouts for Kazmir, and here comes Adam Lynn. Lynn had that leadoff triple in the second inning and scored on the single by Encarnacion. So Adam is 1 for 1. This is his 3rd triple of the year. Now first pitch fastball is in for a strike. A lot of deep counts tonight for Scott Kazmir. That's why his pitch count is where he's at. It's not bad. It's manageable at 53. As we play here in the 4th inning, but the split's not where you want it. 29 strikes, 24 balls.
And not quite the same as last time out, but you're going to have that ebb and flow as you come back from the DL like Scott Kazmir did. He's coming back.
Check swing. The ball gets away, and Wells advances. Lynn did not go on that pitch. So the count was at 1 ball, 1 strike. Wild pitch moving Wells into scoring position.
And for me, this might be the big inning of the game for the Angels and Scott Kazmir. After missing an opportunity, Topchinski had a real tough time as far as commanding the strike zone. Hits 2 guys. There's some pitches out of the zone in which Angel hitters swung at. Did him a favor. Now all of a sudden, with this power of the Jays, they might be in a situation where they can have that big inning. So you've got to make some pitches to get through this one.
Lynn pulling this one to the right side, past Kendrick into right field. Wells will be stopped at third. Torrey gets the ball back in. So the Blue Jays, with a leadoff walk, a wild pitch, and now a base hit, have runners at first and third with nobody out, and Aaron Hill coming up.
Elevated fastball. Just by Howie at second base. Good effort.
Hill's 0 for 1. He popped out his first time up. Napoli apparently needs a new glove. Looks like the leather had broken off the webbing there. That throw in from Torrey Hunter. Kazmir playing catch with Meister Stirs. And Mike's going to get a different glove. No, he's not. So we're ready to go here. 1-0 Blue Jays in the 4th. First and third. Nobody out here for Hill. Foul tips that one into the mid of Mathis. Snowballs and a strike. Blue Jays collectively hitting .251. That's the 11th
in the American League, just behind the Angels, who are hitting .257 as a ball club. Mentioned the home runs they hit. They're 6th in runs scored. 539 on the season. Hill takes a strike on the inside corner. It's 0-2. This is the number that I love. They're first in slugging at .461, yet they're 13th in on-base percentage at .314.
That's an odd stat.
No doubt. Not a huge stat guy per se, but when you look at disparities, especially, we're looking at left-handed versus right-handed for the Blue Jays, that's a huge disparity. When you look at slugging and on-base percentage, you would think they would be somewhat similar, coincide.
You would think so. That's generally the case.
1-2. Hill rolls this one foul. No, they've gotten the bat boy. Didn't even rub it.
He's playing it off well.
No limp, no nothing. Gamer. He knows it's August.
You got to do whatever you can do to keep the team in the game.
Hill puts one out towards shallow left center field. Borges coming on, makes the diving catch. Tagging as well as the throw home is not a dive. It's a sac fly, and it's 2-0 Toronto. But the first out of the inning is recorded on a fantastic diving catch by Peter Borges.
A lot of times in those type of plays, because you're diving for the baseball, I think maybe that Vernon Wells could have possibly left early at third base. Tell you what, Peter Borges covered a lot of ground. Didn't think he had any chance at all at this baseball. But sliding in, have the presence of mind to get up and make the throw to home.
Hill picks up his 46th RBI. And for the second time, the leadoff man on. The leadoff man scores as Overbay gets a base hit into center field. A walk and a couple of hits, a sac fly thus far for the Blue Jays here in the fourth inning. Here comes Edwin Encarnacion. He swung at the first pitch and pulled a base hit to left field in the second inning, giving the Blue Jays a 1-0 lead as he picked up his 34th RBI.
Well, you know, a guy as aggressive like Encarnacion is, throw that sinker on the outside part of the plate, see if you get a ground ball to shortstop. He's going to be aggressive, but you have to keep it down and away.
That's a strike in at the knees. Misses outside, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Encarnacion, formerly of the Cincinnati Reds organization, coming over last year to trade for Scott Rowland. As he swings as hard as he can, he comes up empty. And it's 1-2.
Well located fastball once again.
Kazmir with 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. Looking for that double play ball as that 1-2 pitch misses in. It's 2-2. Some are kind of surprised that the Reds picked up Scott Rowland last year. It certainly has worked in their favor as this one's hit out toward right. Chasing Torrey back. It was playable as he backs onto the warning track. Here's out number 2. Tagging and heading to third is Adam Lim. But there are 2 outs now with runners at the corners here, and Jose Molina coming up. Molina rolled into a 5-4-3 double play that ended the second inning. So he's 0 for 1. Jose takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Overbay pretty much dropping anchor over at first base. Maybe has a 1.5 foot lead. With Kazmir on the mound, not wanting to get picked off. Blue Jays scoring a run here in the 4th inning. The leadoff walk to Vernon Wells, coming around to score on the sac fly by Aaron Hill. Molina shoots this one over to second base. Howie's got it for out number 3. But the Blue Jays double up on the Angels and get a run on a couple of hits. Get to the bottom of the 4th with Toronto leading it 2-0. AT&T. TV, high-speed internet, home phone, and wireless. Visit AT&T.com or call 1-800-PICK-AT&T for details. By your Southern California Ford dealers, where you'll find the new Transit Connect. Check it out at scforddealers.com. And by 76 Gasoline. We're on the driver's side. Bottom of the 4th here in Anaheim, 2-0 Toronto. Halos have Hunter, Rivera, and Kendrick here against Mark Sipchinski. They worked out of some trouble in the 3rd inning, hitting a couple of batters. The Halos unable to cash those in. As Torrey takes ball 1. He's 0-for-1. He grounded out to short, leading off the 2nd inning. Torrey rolling this one over to 3rd. Encarnacion has got it. 1 away. Time now for our AT&T trivia question for this evening. Who are the only 2 Blue Jays to lead the American League in home runs?
You think Fred McGriff might be in there, or George Bell?
Blue Jays coming into existence in 1977.
Ernie Witt, the big cat.
Somehow I don't believe it's Ernie Witt.
He swung hard enough.
Rivera takes a strike. The manager of Team Canada.
That's right. You talk about a guy that if something was on the inner half and down, it was going to be hit hard. If you stayed away on him, you get that rollover ground ball to second.
1 ball, 1 strike here on Rivera. He had a double with 1 out in the 2nd inning, was stranded at scoring position. Juan takes inside, 2 balls and a strike. Sipchinski with a couple of strikeouts, no walks. Having allowed just that 1 hit to Rivera, his 18th double of the year. Three balls and a strike. Howie Kendrick to follow. Wad fouls this one off to the right. The first 3-ball count that Sipchinski has had. Juan looking back to Rob Drake, that indeed probably swung at ball 4. And for the most part, the approach has been, or should be, for right-handed batters, until he establishes that inside part of the plate. He's thrown a couple of pitches in there, but really hasn't busted anybody inside. Look away and react away.
Most times, if he's throwing anything in, it's the breaking pitch down and in to a right-handed batter. Staying away, changes speed on the outer half. He comes inside. Trust your hands are quick enough to be able to turn on that.
That's pulled foul off the screen. Figures the 2 fastest guys are the first ones knocked off the screen. Willis and Borges. Smart guys. Another 3-2. And Rivera chases the outside pitch. And he goes down swinging for the 3rd strikeout for Mark Szymczynski. Hey, folks, join the Angels for a special baseball day camp at Angel Stadium tomorrow. The camp will be from 9 a.m. until noon and will feature instruction from Angels players and coaches. All proceeds will benefit the Angels RBI League. For more information or to register today, please visit Angels RBI at angelsrbileague.com or call 714-619-8416. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Howie Kendrick, who grounded out in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1.
Changeup away, fastball away, turns over the fastball to sink it. And breaking pitch generally the one he will go inside with.
That's up high, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Howie over the top of that off-speed pitch. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Howie usually so good as far as staying back and driving that ball the other way. Rolls over on that one, pulls a foul, but he also did that the first at bat. Same type of pitch, change up down and away. To stay back and use your hands.
Did not go, says Joe West. It's been a while since we've seen Joe West.
It has been.
Payoff pitch. Now he chops this one to short. Escobar's got it. Szymczynski has another 1, 2, 3 innings. 2nd time tonight that he is retired the sign in order. Through 4 here in Anaheim. Blue Jays up 2-0. A question: who are the only 2 Blue Jays to lead the American League in home runs? Jorge Bell? No. Fred McGriff and Jesse Barfield.
Well, in 86 and 89, I might have been a participant in that. I know McGriff for sure.
Top of the order is Fred Lewis. Takes ball one. Lewis 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. You think or you know?
I know. I gave up a lot of home runs to Fred McGriff.
This one off the body, and it's a foot race between Kazmir and Lewis. Kazmir beats Lewis there for the first out.
Well hit baseball. They did a nice job. This one on the inner half of the plate. Bodied up on it, kept it in front. Good feed to Kazmir. That's a perfect feed. Consider Napoli hasn't played a ton of first base. Didn't panic. Good flip. Most times the first baseman, if you throw it around belt high or around chest high, it's a perfect throw over to lead the pitcher covering the base. That was well done. Look, you're not checking up on that, are you?
I was trying to find it if I could. First pitch swinging here is Escobar drilling one out to straightaway center field. Borges back. Easily make the catch. It is ridiculous how quickly he gets back on a baseball.
I think the note has to be around American League Baseball is avoid center field. Unless you can go over the fence. How quick that step is. You play in the shallow center field, gets back on the baseball, has to slow down. That's the thing that's amazing about it.
Exactly. Very similar to the play at Comerica Park last weekend in Detroit.
You know he's going to replay that play off against the wall later on, how he covered so much ground and almost made an unbelievable play. He prides himself on the defensive end. Him and Torrey Hunter, they like preventing runs just as much as they do driving in runs.
Glad you brought that back up because that was a terrible play by Peter Borges.
Yes.
We've seen him make so many fantastic plays. How could he get so lazy on that ball?
Learning curve.
Torrey will take him under his wing, of course, and being facetious here, teaching him how to time the jump a little bit better.
Torrey knows a little bit about making those plays up against the wall and sometimes over the wall. A lot of times over the wall.
Bautista takes inside, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kazmir retired to sign in order in the 3rd inning. Lewis, Escobar, and Bautista. See if he could do the same here in the 5th to get his offense back in the dugout. 2-0 Blue Jays lead it. A run in the 2nd, a run in the 4th. Bautista out to shallow center. Borges easily comes in on this one. This is a breather. It's like taking time off on that one. A 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning with the Angels trailing at 2-0. Bottom of the 5th inning, it is 2-0 Toronto. Mike Napoli, Jeff Mathis, Peter Borges, the bottom 3rd of the order, due up here against Mark Sapczynski. Mike Napoli 0 for 1. He grounded to short his first time up. Takes inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's outside. 2 balls and a strike. Napoli ahead of the count at 3 balls and 1 strike. So the Texas Rangers in the bottom of the 8th inning in Arlington have tied things up at 9 against the Boston Red Sox. At one point, the Red Sox leading that game 8-1. Napoli takes a strike on the outside corner.
Well, that Boston bullpen has been falling apart of late for the Red Sox nation because they're trying to stay afloat in their race in the AL East.
Payoff pitch to Mike Napoli. He fouls this one off to the right. Three-two. Napoli fouling another one off. Same exact spot, too.
Very hittable pitch. More likely, I'm thinking he's going to go with that changeup now, try to go down and away with it. He's got great power the other way.
This one shot to right field, a base hit. Leadoff man is on board. And that'll bring up Jeff Mathis. Good at bat there by Mike Napoli. Just the second hit for the Angels here against Mark Sipchinski.
Shorten up his swing, his approach. Tried to turn over that fastball. Good location. Just a better swing from Mike Napoli there. Hit in the right field for a base hit.
That one in the dirt. Taking off for second is Napoli. He's in there safely. Wild pitch advances Napoli. That ball bouncing about 2 feet in front of the plate. Nothing Molina could do. Nice effort on his part to regroup and try to throw out Napoli at second.
That was a pretty quick throw, too, into second base. Like well in front of the plate. Did a nice job of shifting his body over and makes that throw as he's turning. Accurate throw, but the one hopper gets away. Safe at second.
Mathis fouling it back as a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Jeff grounded out to second base, leading off the 3rd inning, so he's 0 for 1. Bunts went up the third base line, and that is going to go foul. Good thought process with Encarnacion playing deep at third, but couldn't keep that ball fair.
Great idea. Not only will you probably get a base hit, but you're going to be able to advance. Mike Napoli to third base, be first and third with no outs. At this point right now, we have a guy at second base leading off the inning, the opportunity to score a run. You have to get this run across somehow, some way.
Halo's 0 for 4 with men in scoring position thus far. The 1-2. Missed outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Especially the way Sipchinski throws the ball in the outer half. You should be successful if you put in play, hit the ball to the right side. As long as you don't try to pull the baseball. Unless he makes a mistake on the inner half, that's what you want to do, hit to the right side.
Now time is called. Molina's going out there. 2-2 pitch. Mathis out toward right center field. Fred Lewis. It's actually Jose Bautista for the second time tonight. Makes the catch, and Napoli remains at second. So one out now. Runners did not advance. We'll be up to Peter Borges here. Napoli maybe jamming his ankle as he went back to that base. Another great crowd on hand here on a beautiful Friday night. Big Bang Friday, fireworks after the game. Through today's game with ticket sales, projections now. That's what we're talking about, which includes today and through the rest of the year. Not necessarily people in the stadium as of right now, but ticket sale projections. 3 million fans. 3 million tickets sold thus far. 8th consecutive season. Angel fans getting the job done here and supporting this franchise.
Very impressive. You think about that many fans coming to this ballpark each and every year. And winning baseball to be able to see every year also.
Borges out towards center field. Playable for Vernon Wells. He's got a very good arm, so Napoli is going to stay at second. And just like that, there are 2 outs. Bobby Abreu steps to the plate here. We'll take a look at our U.S. Marines leaders of the game. Last 7 games in the leadoff spot, 360 average, 7 runs, a 448 on base percentage. Now, with 2 outs and a man in scoring position, need him to pretend he's that 2 or 3 hitter, driving a run.
Run producer. And a fastball, hit that ball hard to left center field. Will they get that run across for the Angels? Scoring Mike Napoli.
Outside on the first pitch. Bobby's grounded out to second, been hit by a pitch, so he's 0 for 1. Takes a strike into the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Blue Jays with 2 runs on 4 hits. They've stranded 4. The Angels, no runs, 2 hits. They've left 3 on base thus far. Another visit to the mound here. Second of the inning for Jose Molina. Subchinski has thrown 72 pitches, 44 for strikes. Been around the plate the entire night, but that one's inside. It's 2 balls and a strike.
I think that's going to be the last pitch he's going to throw in the inner half against Bobby. More of a show pitch. Now I'm going to try to get him out, whether it's a fastball away or a breaking pitch away.
Swings at that breaking pitch. Napoli, for whatever reason, has got himself in a rundown between second and third. And miraculously ends up safe at second. I don't know if Mike lost track of the count.
That was about as odd as a play you may ever see. I think he must have thought that was a 3rd strike.
So bad base running coupled with bad fundamentals as far as a rundown is concerned keeps the man at second and a 2-ball, 2-strike count here on Bobby Abreu.
That was not well done by Toronto as far as the rundown play. You're supposed to run the base runner back to a base, his original base, but they were just throwing the ball around, and Cito Gaston will definitely have a conversation after this inning. Encarnacion, bad throw, didn't catch the baseball. Just a bad play all around.
Abreu chasing that breaking pitch way out of the strike zone, and Subchinski has picked up his 4th strikeout. Man in scoring position again is wasted. Through 5, Blue Jays still lead it.
scan. Peter Borges covered more ground than a mailman. Look at that great jump, sliding in, making another play in center field, and getting up and trying to make the play at the plate. That is our Coors Light free scan, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Did that well, man.
Thank you.
Practice makes perfect. Blue Jays up 2-0 here in the 6th inning. Vernon Wells to lead things off. 0 for 1 with a walk as he swings the first pitch and fouls it off to the right. Vernon had a leadoff walk in the 4th inning. Went to second on a wild pitch. Went to third on a base hit and scored in the sac fly by Aaron Hill. 3 strikeouts, 3 walks for Kazmir. That pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Scott now has thrown 77 pitches, 45 for strikes. And he's fallen behind at 2 balls and a strike. Good off-speed pitch there, evens the count at 2-2. In Texas, they're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Still a 9-9 tie, 1 out, nobody on. The first of 3 against the Boston Red Sox. Halos go off to Boston on Monday to start a 3-game series against Boston on Tuesday. As well, hits one out toward left center field, playable for Bobby Abreu. Bobby makes the ground for the first down here in the 6th. Hey folks, tomorrow night, all kids 2 to 18 in attendance will receive a free backpack courtesy of Zoe's. Special Hidden Halo prizes for this night include movie passes, Oakley sunglasses, iPods, Disney gift cards, autographed Jared Weaver Stadium banners, Torrey Hunter autographed jersey, all-star gear, and more. Get your tickets today at angelsbaseball.com.
Just in time for you to walk around Boston with that backpack. Man, a lot of Angel fans out there in Beantown, don't you think?
Absolutely. Ran into a couple of Angel fans coming into the ballpark today as Adam Lynn takes down low, telling me that they're going to be in Boston. They've traveled this year to a couple of different ballparks. They take, I don't know how they do this, nor do I want to breach protocol here as Lynn waves at that off-speed pitch, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. They somehow take dirt and grass from the Big A and drop it at Yankee Stadium, at Fenway Park. Trying to change the mojo a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Quite interesting. It's good information you got.
I cannot divulge who these individuals are, but I will introduce you during batting practice on Tuesday.
Okay.
They are very stealth. You blink, you won't see them. 2-1 pitch. Inside, 3 balls and a strike.
I can't wait.
Very Peter Borges-like.
Click your fingers, he's there.
Done. That's the kind of fans we have. 3-1. This one out towards center. Speaking of which. 2 outs.
Boy, how'd you have that segue working? Talk about Peter Borges that gets the fly ball right to him.
Very quietly, Scott Kazmir retired the last 7 in a row since giving up a 1-out base hit to Lyle Overbay. Aaron Hill, 1 ball, no strike. He is 0 for 1. As you see the numbers for Scott Kazmir, 5 2/3, 4 hits, even in the walk and strikeout column. That's on the corner, 1-1. The leadoff situation, the leadoff triple, the leadoff walk. Those two have come across the score. The difference in this game, 2-0. This one's popped up on the right side. Napoli on the dirt. With the new glove, makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. We're to the bottom of the 6th inning here in Anaheim. Scott Kazmir and the Angels trailing it 2-0. pets. From 4 p.m. through the second inning at the home plate gate. Home plate gate hats, pardon me. Fans could purchase mystery bags with an autographed baseball as well as raffle tickets. All proceeds benefit local Orange County animal shelters. Two, 3, and 4 due up for the Halos here in the 6th inning. Ibar, Usturis, and Hunter. Angels have had some men in scoring position, have not been able to figure out. Mark Sipchinski as Eric Ibar fouls this one off to the right. Ibar's 0 for 2, a strikeout, reached on the fielder's choice. Oh, 2 pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Halos with just 2 hits. Double by Juan Rivera in the 2nd. Leadoff single by Napoli in the 5th. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Generally, after that curveball on the outer half of the plate, will come with that 88 to 89 mile hour sinking fastball on the outside corner also.
See a lot of those swings tonight. Right-handed batters
cannot try to pull that pitch. You have to drive the ball the other way. Easier said than done because it looks so inviting to crush that baseball, but it's at a different speed. It changes speeds very well. Stay back, trust your hands, hit the ball in the right field if you're a right-handed batter. If he makes a mistake you have plenty of time to turn on it.
This one fouled at the plate and off of Molina. Get a little breather to walk it off.
Right above the shin guard, and he gets the thigh also. Another changeup.
This one toward the middle. Escobar to his left has got it. Straightens up. The throw is in time, and Ibar is retired for the first out.
Pretty good play by Escobar going up the middle. To have a strong arm to be able to make that throw. Stop, gathered himself. A good throw into first base to get Ibar.
Meister Usturis at the plate. He's 0 for 2. He's hit a fly ball to right field and has struck out as he looks at a fastball for a strike.
Sipchinski doing a nice job as far as keeping the ball down. 9 ground ball outs.
This one toward the middle, and this time Aaron Hill has got it. He'll retire Usturis. Make that 10. There are 2 away.
And the majority of the ground balls have not been hit hard, taking the sting out of it by changing speeds.
Francisco Rodriguez, Kevin Jepson up and loosening. Torrey Hunter takes outside. Torrey twice has grounded out, once to short, once to third. Both leading off an inning, the 2nd and the 4th. Big swing there, comes up empty, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Check this swing. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. The Angels offense been kept in check by Mark Sipchinski. This one's fouled off into the first base seats. And it's a 2 ball, 2 strike count.
He's done such a great job as far as changing speeds. No walks.
TOR goes down for the 5th strikeout of the night for Mark Sivchinski. Halo fans certainly not giving up, even though the Angels are down 2-0. Now get Jack's really big chicken sandwich. By Jack in the Box. Right now, get Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo served with curly fries and a drink for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. By Toyota. Get a great deal on Toyota's full line of hybrid and fuel-efficient vehicles at your Toyota dealer today. And by Jack Daniels. Your friends at Jack Daniels remind you to drink responsibly. Top of the 7th here at the Big A. 2-0 Toronto. Time now for in and out, who's in, who's out. Scott Kazmir no longer in the ballgame. Francisco Rodriguez will take over on the mound. 0-3 mark at a 4.05 ERA. Scheduled to face Overbay, Encarnacion, and Molina here in the Blue Jays half of the 7th.
Key throwing that first pitch fastball for strike. Work down in the strike zone. Good cut fastball. Breaking pitch and split finger fastball.
Lyle Overbay takes ball 1 down low. Rodriguez last pitch last week, actually, the 7th against the Tigers, went 2 innings, gave up a hit, walked a man. So Overbay takes a strike and evens the count. 1-1 pitch. It's down low. 2 balls in his strike. Overbay has walked and singled, so he's 1 for 1. Both of those at-bats coming against Scott Kazmir. Went 6 innings tonight. Struck out 3, walked 3, and allowed both runs on 4 hits. 2-2.
Back-to-back solid starts for Kazmir. His 2 earned runs in his last 11 innings pitched.
Two. Got him swinging. Down goes Overbay. There's out number 1.
Boy, good sink action on that fastball at 96 miles an hour. A lot of times you hear velocity of a fastball 95, 96, 97, but it's that late movement. It gets hitters out. Hitters like the fastball. Doesn't matter how hard it's going to be thrown, but if there's movement, very difficult to hit.
Well, Francisco delivers strike 1 here on Edwin Encarnacion. Blue Jay third baseman is 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a fly ball to right. waving at that breaking pitch. It's quickly no balls, 2 strikes. Another great crowd on hand. 40,606 here at the Big A. That one just missed outside. It's 1-2. There's some good crowds over the first 3 games of this homestand. That series sweep against Kansas City is that one just a little bit short of the plate to even account at 2-2. Halos out on the road for a week next week. 3 in Boston, 3 in Minneapolis. A couple of national games too, by the way. A Thursday game against the Red Sox not only be covered here, but also picked up by MLB Network. A week from tomorrow in Minneapolis, that'll be the Big Fox game, Twins and the Angels. Then a week from Sunday, it's an ESPN game at Target Field. 3-2 is way outside, and after getting ahead of Edwin Encarnacion, he fishes the walk.
Trying to be too fine hitting your spot. When you have that type of movement, especially when you're able to strike out Overbay with a 96-mile-an-hour moving fastball, you got to believe in your ability to throw strikes.
And again, with a team like the Toronto Blue Jays, you do not want to put base runners on board, especially when you're trailing late already at 2-0. Molina steps in. He's 0 for 2. A double play ball and a line out. Skies went out toward right center field. Playable for Torrey. 2 outs. There's a leadoff man, Fred Lewis, 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. The bottom of the 7th inning, the Angels have Rivera, Kendrick, and Napoli against Sipchinski. Still a very manageable pitch count.
One thing, though, when you don't have overpowering stuff, any mistakes, all of a sudden, the Angels are right in that. Base hit, mistake or two, and all of a sudden you have a chance to get back and take the lead. But you got to have the proper approach at the plate. It's not throwing a lot of pitches in the middle part of the plate, staying away or breaking pitches down and in. You have to look away and drive the ball away.
O2's down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Encarnacion leads off at first with 2 outs here in the 7th. Quick throw over there, trying to keep the Blue Jay third baseman honest over there. Found out tonight that Encarnacion, Brian Talent, and Vernon Wells have all cleared waivers for the Toronto Blue Jays. So you never know. Blue Jays still in the mode of looking toward the future. Brian Talent, the left-handed specialist out of the bullpen, guy who has started at times.
Started against the Angels earlier in the season up in Toronto.
And the venture guess that nobody's going to touch Vernon Wells' contract. 1-2's out towards center. Borges breaking back on it. Not going to get this one. His first step was in. Being waved around as Encarnacion. Relay is not in time as he is in there safely. It's 3-0 Toronto. That line shot to center, one of the toughest plays for a center fielder. That first step in, and once it got over his head, the question was whether or not the relay would be manageable to try to get Encarnacion at the plate.
Number 5, shortstop, Julian Escobar.
Well, read it off the bat. Well hit by Lewis. Froze him initially, tried to go in and then had to go back on the baseball. Throws the ball in, high throw. Still bobbled on the relay, allowed the run to score. A big run for Toronto.
Well, the walk comes in to score. And now this is way outside for ball 1 against Yunel Escobar. The double by Fred Lewis, his 30th of the year, picks up his 32nd RBI. This one to the dirt, pick off to second, and Lewis is just back in there ahead of that throw. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Down to the dirt, nice play. Quick throw by Mathis. Always get the hand in quickly.
This one toward the middle eye bar is there. Bobbles it. And everybody's going to be safe. Error on Eric Ibar keeps the inning alive.
And this win now, if you're a pitcher, you got to try to pick up your infielder here. A play that Ibar knows he has to make. Unable to do so. Keeps the inning alive. Then you have to face Batista here in this particular spot. Batista has tremendous power, but that's, as a pitcher, you got to pick him up. 14th error in season for Eric Ibar.
And now facing Jose Bautista with 2 outs. Runners at the corners. 3-0 Toronto here in the 7th. Big swing and a miss here by Bautista. 0 for 2 tonight. A walk, fly to left, and a fly to center. Throw to first base and back in is Escobar.
And Matthews having his work cut out for him in this inning. A lot of pitches in the dirt. Francisco overthrown, forcing the pitch.
21 pitches thrown by Francisco Rodriguez. 11 strikes, 10 balls. 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Falls behind on Bautista. 2 balls and a strike. Outfield pretty much straight away here against Bautista with 2 outs. 2-2 now. Fred Lewis with good speed over at third base. Escobar at first. 2-2. There goes Escobar. Swing and a miss. Down goes Bautista. The 3rd out of the inning. But Toronto picks up a little insurance run, courtesy of the RBI double by Fred Lewis. Blue Jays up 3-0. It is 3-0 Toronto. Juan Rivera to lead things off here against Mark Sipchinski, who has really kept the Angels in check. 2 hits allowed. He has struck out 5, walked nobody. They'll be facing Rivera, Kendrick, and Napoli here in the Angels half of the 7th. Halo's trying to figure out the left-hander. Juan takes outside for ball 1. Rivera had a a one-out double in the 2nd inning. The only other hit was a leadoff single by Mike Napoli in the 5th. We've had some guys in scoring position, have not been able to bring him home. Juan takes a strike, evens the count at 1-1.
Change up first pitch off the plate. Sinking fastball in the outside corner. He's not variated from his game plan.
This is the 2nd start of Sipchinski's career against the Angels. At 6 1/3, allowed 3 hits, an earned run, and struck out 6 August 21st of last year. That was up at Toronto.
Well, when he misses outside, he misses out by quite a bit. You got it as a hitter. Right now, you have to be looking away. He's going to throw that changeup most times 2-1 on the outer half, or he'll flip that curveball down and in.
Well, Juan looked away in the 2nd inning. That's how he picked up the double down the right field line. That has not been the case the rest of the lineup in this one. Again, looking inside. This one off the end of the bat. Overbay feeds it to Sipchinski, and there's out number 1. So again, another pitch he's trying to pull as we take a look at our Lexus pursuing perfection tonight. The left-hander's been good, keeping Angel hitters off balance.
Been very good hitting that curveball on the outside part of the plate. Change up away, another change up on the outside part of the plate. Curveball off the outside corner, getting ground ball after ground ball. 11 ground ball outs. Been very effective staying away from the middle part of the plate. That is our Lexus pursuing perfection.
6 1/3 right now. Fifth game of the big leagues this year, his 3rd start. Mentioned earlier, coming off the disabled list. He spent a good portion of the first half of the year on the DL because of a broken middle finger on his pitching hand that suffered last start in spring training. Is how he is quickly in the hole. And no balls, 2 strikes, 2 pitches on the outside part of the plate.
And he's staying away, whether it be the 2-seam fastball, the curveball, changeup.
Back outside they go. That one's outside. It's 1-2. And as a pitcher, you look at it and sit there, you know what? If they haven't made any adjustments to me, why should I make any adjustments back?
Never make the adjustment if you're a pitcher until they show you that they're going to go the other way. Then you have to show inside.
Count remains at 1 and 2 strikes.
You have a tendency at times to outthink yourself on the mound, but if they have not made adjustments against you as a hitter, why would you change anything?
Called strike 3. Kendrick goes down looking. Strikeout number 6 now for Sipchinski, and there are 2 away here in the 7th.
A great spot once again. A lot of credit goes to Jose Molina behind the plate, setting that good target. Now at 98 pitches, 62 of them strikes. I guarantee you those 62 strikes, not many of them were in the middle part of the plate.
Napoli pops it up behind the plate. This one will reach the seats. No balls and a strike. Scott Downs is the left-hander. John Camp the right-hander.
Well, you're hoping at this point they go to the bullpen.
Absolutely. Trying to change things up. No balls, 2 strikes. Napoli pulls it over to short. Escobar's got it. Low throw dug out by Overbay. Another 1-2-3 inning. As we have played 7 here in Anaheim. Blue Jays still up 3-0. Game recap for this evening with the Blue Jays up 3-0. Let's show you how he got it done. Edwin Encarnacion, an RBI base hit that scored Adam Lind in the second inning. This one, a sacrifice fly off the bat of Aaron Hill. Peter Borges making a terrific play, but Vernon Wells scoring, making it 2-0. And then Fred Lewis with 2 outs, doubling over the head of Peter Borges. That scored Encarnacion from first base to make it 3-0. That's where we stand right now in game 1 of this 3-game set. Blue Jays with 5 hits. Angels with just 2, and a pitching change now brings in Scott Shields in place of Francisco Rodriguez.
And Scott Shields, an opportunity to keep the game close here, to utilize that good 2-seam fastball, throw for strikes, and finish off some hitters with that curveball. Rodriguez 4 strikeouts in his 38 2/3 innings pitched so far.
Sorry, Goob. He takes over for Rodriguez, who gave up a run in 1 inning, striking out 2 and walking 1 as Shields delivers down low for ball 1. One ball, 1 strike here on Vernon Wells. Blue Jays setting up 4, 5, and 6. Wells, Lind, and Hill here against Scott. Got knocked around his last time out. That was against the Tigers back on the 8th. 2 balls and 1 strike. Shields went an inning and a third against the Tigers. Gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 3 walks, wild pitch also in the mix. That one is in there. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he's gone a full count here on Vernon Wells. That outing by Scott Shields in Detroit. As that pitch is down low, and there's a leadoff walk, leading some to speculate that the Angels might be making some move here in the near future with Scott Shields. They've got Jason Bolger, Brian Stokes, both on rehab assignments. I mean, it's tough to say that right now, considering the body of work, and it's easy to sit there and point the finger at Scott Shields, who's not bounced back from the knee surgery and has not pitched to form. That pitch is a strike on the outside corner.
And you can make an argument that Scott Shields has been one of the most valuable players under Mike Scioscia's tutelage as manager, but this year has just been inconsistent as far as getting on top and staying within his mechanics and not overthrowing.
He's gotten ahead here of Adam Lind, 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's no doubt Scott Shields is one of the more intense, more competitive guys out on the field. Nobody's harder on himself than Scott, especially with the struggles that he has had this year. We hear it. We talk to him about it almost on a daily basis, especially if it's on a road trip, here on a plane, hotel, whatever the case may be. He's always talking about it. It grinds at him on a daily basis. Glenn takes a called strike 3. 3 pitches. Down goes Glenn. They're down number 1.
It's been so important in that bridge between the starter and the closer throughout his career as an Angel. It's been automatic. An important 8th inning. That's the pitch that's made him so successful. That 2-seamer that starts off the inside corner and catches and freezes those left-handed batters.
This one out toward left center field. Here comes Bobby Abreu, and he slides, does not make the catch. The throw to second base is not in time, and jamming his leg is Wells. And you wonder if he's all right. Wells thought Abreu had made the catch and broke back towards first, but then realized that he did not make the catch. Very tentative slide in left by Abreu. I think if he just keeps running, he makes the catch on the run.
When he slowed down as the ball was going in, you got to go right after that baseball. A slight hesitation. Ball clearly hits the grass before it gets into the glove of Bobby Abreu. Now first and second.
Michael Kahn's up and loosening now. It's a base hit for Aaron Hill. 2 on, 1 out. And a 3-0 Blue Jay lead here in the 8th. Lyle Overbay steps in, takes a breaking ball in the dirt. Vernon Wells at second, Aaron Hill at first base. That pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Overbay doesn't pull the trigger. Takes a strike down. It's 2-1. Blue Jay first baseman has walked, singled, and struck out. It's a 1-for-2 night. There's another strike, and it's 2-2. In Texas, here in the bottom of the 11th inning, Tim Wakefield now has come on in relief. Jonathan Papelbon at first pitch swinging was Nelson Cruz. It looks like he has just won the ball game for the Texas Rangers, and he has. It is now a victory for Texas, a walk-off home run by Nelson Cruz on the very first pitch thrown by Wakefield in the bottom of the 11th inning. 2-2 here. Overbay checked his swing. It's full count.
Before I could even get it out of my mouth, it was not a good matchup. Wakefield, when he pitched against Texas at Fenway Park, got hit around pretty hard. That knuckleball with all those right-handed power in that lineup. Not a good matchup, and it certainly wasn't.
Well, lost tonight by the Angels, which dropped them back to 8.5 in the American League West. Overbay out toward right center field. Borges breaking back, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Overbay robbed of extra bases. Base runners do not advance. There are 2 outs.
Number 12, third baseman, Edward.
Well hit by Overbay. Turn on it. Borges, good jump, makes the play. Kept his eye right on it, looked into his glove.
So here's Edwin Encarnacion. RBI single, a fly to right, and a walk with a run scored. So a 1-for-2 night. swinging at that breaking pitch, and it's no balls and a strike. At one point in that game down in Texas, Boston had a 7-run fourth inning to take an 8-2 lead. This one's fouled off. Nice play in the dugout. But one guy who's got a glove over there, John McDonald, figures the glove guy has got the glove.
And the catcher's mitt, it looks like.
No balls, 2 strikes. Broken bat roller up the first base side. Napoli takes it himself. He'll tag out Encarnacion for the 3rd out. No runs, a hit, 2 left on. We hit to the bottom of the 8th. Angels down 3-0. Of 3-0. Here's tonight's in-game box score presented by Mass Mutual. See a lot of zeros in the hit column because the Halos have only picked up 2 knocks. Juan Rivera with a double. Mike Napoli with a leadoff single. That is it. 2 hits allowed by Mark Sapczynski, the left-handed starter, in his 3rd start in the big leagues this year since coming off the disabled list. He is in line for W unless the Halos could figure out the bullpen of the Toronto Blue Jays. Left-hander Scott Downs is now on in relief.
And Scott Downs has been very good for the Jays this season. 51 games, great ERA, 47 1/3 innings pitched, 37 strikeouts, only 10 walks, fastball 86-90, curveball, slider, change. But any kind of a move is a good move for the Angels because Sapczynski did a great job of never throwing any pitch in the middle part of the plate. 12 ground ball outs. Outstanding job as far as using that sinking fastball, changeup, curveball combo.
Facing Jeff Mathis to lead things off here. The first pitch is down low for ball 1. Halos setting up 8-9-1. Mathis, Borges, and Abreu here in the 8th against Downs. His name has been bandied about as far as a potential trade target. That's how effective he has been from the left side. Mathis takes a strike after showing the bunt. That's 1 ball, 1 strike. Jeff Mathis tonight 0 for 2. A ground ball to second, a fly ball to right. He fouls that breaking pitch back. It's 1-2.
That is why clubs would like to have Scott Downs, because he has that ability in that sweeping breaking pitch. Very effective against right-handed and left-handed batters.
And the 1-2. That's down in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 from Downs. Mathis fouls one at the plate. But Mark Zipchinski tonight was fantastic. Off-speed stuff, fastball. Going 7 innings, striking out 6. Allowing just 2 hits.
I think when you look back at the game against him, that 3rd inning was a huge inning. He hit 2 batters in a row through the first pitch about 2 feet in front of the plate. And then he was able to get Eric Ibar to swing at pitches out of the zone, and then he got locked in after that.
Mathis goes down swinging. There's out number 1. Hard breaking pitch down and in as we take a look at our Hyundai key to the game.
He's trying to ride that momentum from that sweep against the Kansas City Royals, although Zipchinski did a great job of negating that by throwing so many quality pitches on the outer half and changing speeds. Mike Sochet has to try to somehow, some way, be able to figure out how to get some action going if there is indeed some base runners on base for him.
Center fielder Peter Borges at the plate. He's been hit by a pitch. Hit a fly ball out towards center. Downspin good, but Hill is right there, and Borges is retired. What a fantastic play by Aaron Hill to get the second out here in the 8th.
Especially considering if you're Borges and you get that baseball by the pitcher, you feel you have a great chance at a base hit. Downs tried to make the play. Might even got it off the end of the glove. Just tipped it enough, but Aaron Hill not only makes that play, it was deflected, but bare hands and flips it over to first base to get the speedy Borges out. Great play.
These are our One West Bank, one person, one play, brought to you by One West Bank, one person at a time. So 2 quick outs here for Scott Downs and the Blue Jays. Bobby Abreu steps up now. We'll look at a first pitch fastball in for a strike. Bobby tonight was grounded to second, but hit by a pitch and is struck out, so he's 0 for 2. Well, we knew at the start of the night that the Angels would be facing a very tough Blue Jays team. They've played exceptional baseball since the All-Star break, a 16-9 mark. A staff ERA of 3.65 since the Midsummer Classic. And they've also hit. Pretty good combination. They've hit 288 since then. That's fantastic considering that the overall average for this team is 251 on the year. They've stepped up quite a bit. Problem is that they play in the American League East. Even though they've played well against their mates in the East, they are 26-19 against their division rivals.
A lot of people thought they would take a step back after trading away Roy Halladay. Cito Gaston has done a nice job as far as getting this team to believe in themselves. They have some good arms in the rotation, and they crush the baseball.
Bobby gets jammed here and rolls one over to Encarnacion. And Abreu is safe at first. Big swing in on the hands, and Abreu legs it out.
12th error of the season by Encarnacion. Had time to make that throw, but threw it wide.
Calling that a base hit for Bobby Abreu. 3rd hit of the night for the Halos.
I take that back. Only 11 errors on the season now for him. Stayed back at that spot. Good hustle down the line by Bobby. Although I wouldn't be real happy if that's called a hit when I'm on the hill.
So hang with him if you're on the mound.
Yeah.
Some home cooking. Eric Ibar drops the bunt on the third base side. Encarnacion gets a second chance this time. Almost hits Ibar. And it's the 3rd out of the inning. 8 complete here in Anaheim. Blue Jays leading at 3-0.
This job as far as using that breaking pitch. Outside corner on the curveball. Great changeup. Sinks the fastball. Another sweeping breaking pitch. The Abreu changeup away. Fastball in the outside corner. 7 punch-outs. No walks in 7 shutout innings. Was our Jaguar key performer.
There's no doubt he's the Jaguar key performer with that performance, and he's really kept the Angels off balance this entire game. Michael Kahn now takes over for Scott Shields. Third reliever used by Mike Sosham. No record in a 4.76 ERA. They'll be facing 9-1-2 Molina, Lewis, and Escobar here in the Blue Jays half of the 9th inning. Blue Jays with a run in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 7th to take a 3-0 lead. Jose Molina looks at a fastball away. 2 runs coming off Scott Kazmir. He went 6 innings tonight, striking out 3, walking 3. And Francisco Rodriguez gave up a run on a hit in his 1 inning of relief.
Nice bounce back inning for Scott Shields. After that walk and then a flare for a base hit, came back and got 2 quick outs.
One ball, 2 strikes on Molina. He's 0 for 3 tonight with a double play ball, a line out and a fly to right. A double barrel action going for the Blue Jays. Kevin Gregg and Sean Camp. Molina lifting that fly ball down the right field line. It'll find its place in the seats. The count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. At the bottom of the 9th inning, the Halos have 3, 4, and 5 due up. Asturias, Hunter, and Rivera. Matsui is on the bench. Callaspo is also on the bench. If need be. Broken bat roller up the third base line. Meiser's got it. Retire Jose. And there's the first out here in the 9th inning. And the Angels Hidden Halo program will take place tomorrow night. There'll be specially marked promotional items randomly distributed upon entry into the stadium. The items will be distinctly marked with the Hidden Halo, which can be redeemed for prizes such as Oakley sunglasses, iPods, JT Schmitz, and OC Sports Grill gift cards, autographed items, and more. 6:05 start tomorrow here at the Big A. Fred Lewis takes a strike. Left-hander Brett Cecil going for Toronto. Irvin Santana towing the slab for the Halos.
Cecil did a great job in Anaheim against the Angels earlier in the season. And 3 left-handers in a row the Jays will be throwing at the Angels. The Angels coming into this game 16-19 against left-handed pitchers to start the game.
Kahn falling behind on Lewis at 2 balls and a strike. Lewis an RBI double in the 7th. His 30th double of the year. Picked up his 32nd RBI. And the Blue Jays little insurance run. 3rd of the night. And a guy you'd like to keep off the bases. The speed that he possesses. 3-1 pitch. There's a strike. Full count. Yunel Escobar, the shortstop, on deck. Payoff. Got him looking on the outside corner. 3rd time tonight that Lewis has gone down looking. Doesn't like the call, and he'll let Rob Drake know about it. There are 2 outs.
Really hasn't been many complaints about Rob Drake's performance behind the plate. Very consistent.
A couple of veteran umpires on this crew. Drake, one of the younger ones. Joe West at first base. Angel Hernandez at second. Joe will be behind the dish tomorrow night. You know, he's a budding country superstar.
We are aware of that one. Very good signal.
One ball, one strike here on Yunel Escobar. One to Escobar. That one is lined over the head of Ibar into left center. Borges will cut it off, and Escobar is on board with a 2-out single, which keeps the inning alive for Jose Bautista. 7th hit of the night for Toronto. Bautista tonight is 0 for 3. Fly to left, fly to center, a strikeout and a walk. That fastball missed outside, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. "36 home runs on the year for Jose Bautista." Quick throw over there, and Escobar is back.
Escobar with decent speed, but you would think the Jays are going to stay back and give Bautista a chance to swing the bat.
Quick throw over. Nope, didn't bother, just stepped off. 1 ball, no strike count here on Bautista, whose previous career high for home runs was 23. That was at Double-A Altoona back in 2005. Takes a strike here. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. It was big league high, 16 with the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2006.
I don't think he liked that strike being called against him either. Pretty good fastball. Like Hahn on the inside part of the plate.
This one out toward left center field. Borges trying to get to it. Dives and makes the catch. Wow, what a play by Peter Borges. Robbed Bautista of his first hit of the night. And for sure an RBI, as Yunel Escobar would have scored from first base. Hopefully that inspires the Halos as we head to the bottom of the ninth, down 3-0. To end the top of the ninth inning, just got a good jump on it. Not an easy play by any stretch.
And they have to go back and slide right in front of the warning track to make that play. The importance of making a catch like that to prevent another run from scoring. Very aggressive, great play. Torrey Hunter, a man with 9 Gold Gloves in that position, gives him high five. Bautista Did the old hang with him. Hit well.
Congratulations. You are tonight's award winner of the Hang With 'em Award. Meister Sturris leads things off here against Kevin Gregg. Looking to close things out with the Blue Jays up 3-0. Is Sturris, Hunter, and Rivera.
Kevin Gregg fastball 90-94, curveball, slider, and a split figure fastball.
Meister popping this one up into foul territory, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Gregg with 25 saves on the year for Toronto. He's allowed 35 hits and 43 2/3. 45 strikeouts, 23 walks. Halo's looking for some base runners. Did not get him against Mark Sapchinski or Scott Downs, and now trying to figure it out against Kevin Gregg here in the bottom of the 9th. Two balls, 2 strikes.
That was that split finger fastball, just missed the outside corner.
This one's popped up. Escobar, and Encarnacion will be Escobar, the shortstop, making the catch, 1 away. So 1 out brings up Torrey Hunter. The Sturris 0 for 4 on the night. Torrey 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs and a strikeout. A loss drops the Angels to 59 and 58 on the year. And a game back in the American League West with Texas beating Boston in extra innings tonight. Halos would fall to 8.5 back. Torrey takes a strike, and that'll leave it a count. Gregg ahead of the count at a ball and 2 strikes here. Torrey goes down swinging for out number 2, and it's been that kind of night for the Angels offense.
And it's a lot of assortment of off-speed pitches, whether it be split finger fastballs or change-ups, slow curveballs, staying out of the middle part of the plate.
Halos down to the last out here. And Juan Rivera steps up. Double a strikeout and a ground ball to first. A 1 for 3 night. Juan getting to start at DH tonight. Brett Cecil, Urban Santana tomorrow night.
Urban's had some good games against the Blue Jays this season. CG up in Toronto.
Gregg's falling behind here, 2 balls and no strikes. This one lined over to short. 1 hopper picked by Escobar. This one will end the game of the Blue Jays. Take the first game of this 3-game series by shutting out the Angels 3-0.
Boy, and credit Toronto for doing the little things. They didn't use the big fly tonight, which they have 179 of them, but they created enough opportunities to score just enough runs with the great pitching of Sapchinski. Did an unbelievable job as far as hitting his spots. 6 punch outs, no walks. Great job as far as getting ground ball out after ground ball out. Toronto pulls this one off tonight.
Sapchinski picks up the win. Kazmir takes the loss. Gregg his 26th save. The final again. Blue Jays shut out the Angels 3-0. Stick around for a complete wrap-up of tonight's game.